I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
We got him.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It is Ty. Oh, and everything's fucked up. First of all, this is a serious video. It's probably gonna be hard to take me seriously now that I have the hair of a 14-year-old and the mustache of a person who isn't legally allowed to be within 100 feet of a 14-year-old. But this is what we're doing. And yeah, we got some shit to talk about. The Trump administration is back on its bullshit to the tune of enforcing a new legal definition of gender that would essentially erase trans people in the eyes of the federal government. So here's just a brief rundown so that we're all caught up to speed. I'm gonna be kind of paraphrasing from the original New York Times article that broke this story and sparked all the debate on this topic, and that will be linked in the description below. But basically, the Department of Health and Human Services is calling for key government agencies to adopt an explicit, uniform definition of gender to be determined on a biological basis that is clear, grounded in science, objective, and administrable, which, according to them, means the sex listed on a person's birth certificate as originally issued shall constitute definitive proof of a person's sex unless rebutted by reliable genetic evidence. Like I said, the article is a lot more in-depth. Go check that out, it's linked in the description, and I've also linked other videos on the topic, one of which is from my friend and fellow trans YouTuber Aaron and Sweeney, and he gets a lot more deep into what this all means. Basically, they're saying the government wants to define gender. The article flip-flops between saying sex and gender, and I don't know if that is what the government memo also does, or if that's just the author of the article being confused on the topic. But you know, sex and gender aren't the same thing, so if we're wanting to create a definition of gender that is grounded in science, this ain't it, chief. They want to define gender based on a person's genitals at birth. Then that fucking sucks, because not only does that erase trans people who have paid thousands of dollars to go through their medical transition and have these surgeries and all the time and effort that it takes to get your gender marker changed and all the paperwork and the bullshit and the bureaucracy and the fucking... It's so much. And so you do all that, and now in the eyes of the government that means nothing because your genitals at birth are what's, you know, like, fuck all that, honestly. But it's not just trans people, it's also intersex people that you're just, hey, fuck them, I guess. So what you're actually trying to define is sex, because gender and sex are not the same thing. And that is science. Like, we have proof that they develop separately, and that it's just like, by definition, that's not what it is. But I guess the government could just make up their own definitions for stuff now. Sex is a lot more complicated than that. Even with cis people, you know, it says shit about genetic testing. That's how we're gonna know for sure. Like, how and what, and how and why. They don't say how that would even work or what they're gonna do with that, but I mean, if it's for hormones, then okay. But if we're talking about chromosomes, then even that in many cases is more complicated than just XX or XY. So it's just how, I just don't understand how they expect this to go over well. And there's honestly a lot more going on here than I think a lot of people realize. Because the reality of what the Trump administration is doing is very scary for trans people. And it's no secret that the Trump administration has been targeting trans people since the very beginning. I'm sure we all remember the discriminatory bathroom bills and the military ban. But there have been a lot of steps taken to systematically oppress trans people that didn't make headline news, and I think for the most part just kind of fell under the radar. So if you take a look at this list, which is composed by the National Center for Transgender Equality, you can see that it's pretty extensive. And this is basically a list of shit that the Trump administration has done to roll back protections and take away rights from LGBT people with a focus on the trans community. And it dates back to February 22nd, 2017, just a month after Trump's inauguration. And the very first thing is rolling back protection for trans students. So he kicked off his presidency by going after children. So I think that says a lot. And last year I made a video about the trans military ban wherein I explained that, you know, I think these steps that are being taken are part of a larger plan to erase trans people and remove us from society. They make it harder and harder for us to exist. If we can't go to the bathroom out in public, we can't get jobs. Now we can legally be fired for being trans. We can be refused healthcare. And now we don't even exist. You know, it seems pretty obvious to me, but I did get a lot of comments saying that I was being dramatic and that I was making it into a bigger deal than it actually was. But I think that at this point, hopefully we can all agree and realize that our fears about trans erasure under the Trump administration were legitimate, especially considering that now, just within the last few days, government websites are being scrubbed of any reference to transgender Americans. And the term gender has been removed from the health department's civil rights page altogether. It fucking sucks. Like, it's so blatant. And after this news about the new legal definition of gender being based on people's genitals at birth, after that New York Times article reported on it, the very next day, Trans Lifeline, which is a suicide hotline, reported that their calls had quadrupled. They got 4 times the normal amount of calls in a day. And that is the real impact that this has on our community. People are scared. I'm scared. I feel like as an American and as a human being, I should have the same rights and protections as everyone else. I think for me, the scariest thing is like the thought of prison. Not like for me personally, but more for trans women, because I know that, you know, if a trans woman is housed with men, she's gonna be in so much danger. And like in the eyes of the government, if we're all just our genitals at birth, that's what will happen. And I mean, it's fucking 2018. You would not think that this shit would be going on like this. Like, we're moving backwards. It's scary and it fucking sucks. You know, it makes me feel very helpless, but we're not helpless. There is so much that we can do. People are rallying and marching, and that is awesome. Our voices are being heard, but now more than ever, right now, you can use your voice by voting. We have 5 days left, and it is so important, especially for people, you know, around my age, to get out there and fight for what we believe in, because the other side is voting. The older generations are voting, and we can't just sit by and do nothing. So if you are 18 or older, please register to vote and go vote. And if you're watching this and you're a Republican, please vote for the issues. I know that we tend to treat this like some big sporting event and we're gonna root for the red team or the blue team, but oh my God, like, there is just so much being done to people's lives, so much destruction to the environment, to our economy. We can't let this go on. Please vote. That's all I got for you guys. I do want to say a few quick words before I leave. 1, I know that I look ridiculous. 2, I know that my YouTube channel has been a huge fucking mess. Well, not really. It was all planned, but to a lot of people who didn't really know what was going on, it was a mess. My whole social media, I've been in character and promotion for my YouTube series, YouTuber Life, that just ended. I'm back and things are going back to normal. Regular YouTube upload schedule again, Sundays and Thursdays. So make sure you're subscribed, but also make sure that you turn on notifications and click all notifications, because for some reason, just some notifications is even an option. which is so beyond me because like that's what the subscribe button is for in the first place, and now we have to go through all these extra steps. And even then, apparently people still don't see my shit. So just come back, because YouTube isn't gonna promote my trans words. I understand. You know, that's just how it is, okay. You know, so whatever they want to do, I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna be uploading stuff Thursdays and Sundays. Come back. Thank you guys so much to everyone who watched the series and commented and told me what you thought. I loved hearing your feedback. I'm actually probably going to be responding to some of your theories on the series in my next vlog. So if you have any thoughts on it, go leave those, and I might respond to it in my next video. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please go fucking vote. Don't fuck around. I will talk to you very soon. Happy Movember. Smile if you love men's prostates. Bye.